I really want to dive deep into how you make a brand, not only like a pen or like that, also with music. But before, I wanted to ask you why you came from Australia to New York. You started really deep in Australia, building businesses, and then you jump into mecca of business, into New York. Everything happens here. Why you came to the US?
Yeah, and a few reasons. When I first started my business, I was in Sydney, and it wasn't my intention to go to America immediately. Our first client was Skype, and they were based in London at the time before Microsoft acquired them. And then had a third partner join me and the original co-founder. And he had Virgin Mobile as a client in New York, and we were flying all the time. I was backwards and forwards between London and New York, like week on, week off, and it was not sustainable. So we decided to pack up and move. I had a 4-month-old child, so I moved to the biggest city for tech and music in the world in New York City, outside maybe San Francisco for tech, but big city, dense population with a brand new baby, brand new business, bootstrapping and living through that sort of time. It was wild, but I think looking back, there is nowhere else in the world we could have done what we did. Australia is a small population. It's a beautiful place, but it's only 25 million people. There's more people than that in New York State alone. So, like coming somewhere here where there's untapped opportunity, technology and creativity in technology is endless. There's so many people who are pushing boundaries beyond what we could ever imagine. So, for us being here made a lot of sense ultimately to fulfill our mission, which was very much to help artists create new revenue, but do it in a way where fans, press, anyone in the world was inspired through new technology. So it was the only place for us that made sense.
And when you think about New York, it's like chaos. Probably the community is a little bit tough, like to get in. How do you start when you arrive asking for opportunities or trying to ask for clients? How did you attack the city? What was your approach to grow in New York City?
Yeah, it's a good question. And any founder who is starting a business and looking for clients, you have to get creative. And we were in a tricky situation because at that time, audio branding was really not a field that was well known. It happened, but maybe not at the strategic level. So for us, our sales cycle meant that we had to educate clients on what audio branding actually was at the same time as selling them to try and do it. So there's a lot of sort of education that happens. But our first client was Skype, as I mentioned, and being able to work on something as iconic as Skype with ringtones and the startup sound, all these sounds that are quite infamous for that period of time. Like that case study allowed us to be able to open doors, demonstrate what we've done, show our process, and then it flowed on from there. And we're just able to leverage relationships. But we would go to events, we would tap on any door of any sort of half friend that we knew, but it was a perpetual hustle between the three of us to just find new opportunities and keep pushing. And yeah, when you're bootstrapping as well and you start to run out of money, it's pretty good motivation to find some new business.